Hey guys, what is up? It is me, Pagey, here once again with another video on The Flash Season 9. Now, actually, Flash Season 8, but maybe some stuff from Flash Season 9. I don't know, I can't tell the future. Now, from time to time after a season has ended, we do get some deleted scenes released in the lead up to the DVD and Blu-ray, or Blu-ray, and all Blu-ray, whichever way you want to put it, of the latest season of The Flash being released. Now, that is no different as that comes out this week. You know, it comes out, I think, probably 3 days, I think, from when this video will come out. I think it's the 18th of October that it comes out, so mark your calendars. And sometime last week, we got the tease from TV Line after someone asked them a question about whether the tease from Abracadabra early on into Season 7 about Chronarch was ever going to be referenced again on the show. And TV Line said that in a deleted scene that they'd got early from the final, or the finale, might I say, the final episode of the finale for Season 8, there was a deleted scene that brings that character up again of the Chronarch, as well as explaining something to do with future Barry. Now, finally, that scene has been released, and I think I should be all good to show it to you. I don't think there'll be any copyright issues. So, I'm playing Russian roulette here, but here you go. Have fun watching it.
Anything on the grid search?
Nothing. At first, the Iris we know vanishes. Now, the version of her from 2022 is gone too.
What about Bart and Nora?
Still nothing? Jay, we need to tell Barry what's happening.
We can't. The Forever War may be over, but Barry's still off-world helping to clean up the Chronarch's mess, so until he gets back, there's no way to reach him. We need to find Iris on her own.
How? The Iris from 2022 was full of negative tachyons. She could be anywhere, lost in time again.
With this.
What?
The temporal beacon I designed in case Barry and me got separated during the fighting. It emits a one-way tachyon signal to locate our positions. But if I can invert the cartographic relay inside it, maybe I can retool this gal to hone in on Iris. Heck, all I would need is
a molecular scan of the negative tachyon inside her? Because I took one the moment she arrived.
What would I do without you?
Not much. Now, let's go find Iris.
Now, when that was teased last week, it almost sounded like it was, going to be like, well, at least I thought going into it was going to be like maybe like an alternate ending, maybe. So instead of setting up the crystal in the future that we got right at the end of the Season 8 finale, leading into Season 9, that it was going to be setting up the Chronarch potentially as a threat for this season, and they were going to film both and then choose which one they wanted when editing the episode and all of that. They have filmed stuff for the end of seasons before and scrapped it completely. End of Season 4, we're meant to get a cicada tease. They deleted it completely and just didn't even tease cicada. But this scene was a pretty important one, I think, in regards to context of the future and why things played out like they did, as well as explaining stuff that was happening back in 2022 where the Season 8 finale was taking place. Now, I've mentioned before that I think the final arc in Season 8 or for Season 8 is pretty damn good. It's very good in my opinion, except for moments in the finale where it just feels a bit messy and rushed and a bit disorganized, and it's missing chunks from it which explain certain things or lead into certain things happening. And I think a scene like this with Jay Garrick and Joan Williams, or Joan Garrick, I'm not too sure what she goes by, I think a scene like this would have been smart to keep. It's a very weird one to delete in my opinion. I remember they deleted one from last season as well, or it might have been Season 6, like a finale for one of those seasons. I can't remember off the top of my head which season it was. It was either Season 6 or Season 7. But it was a scene with Iris that felt so weird to delete. It was important for her character and her just as a person specifically in that moment in the season. But of course, Jay Garrick does mention the Chronarch, which had been referenced back in the early parts of Season 7. I think it was episode 4 or 5 by Abracadabra, when he said to the Flash, "I'm doing you a favor by killing you now, Flash. This way you'll never have to face the wrath of the Chronarch." Now, at the time, we thought that maybe it's something that could be used on the show in the future, whether that was later in Season 7 or just in a later season as a whole. But as we got from that clip, this whole thing happens much later beyond the period the show takes place in. The Chronarch is an issue when our heroes are living in the 2040s, so Bart and Nora are around as heroes and who knows what. It's pretty much, I guess, what if you look at like the Earth Prime comic series, like those heroes that are around then, so like a future Batwoman and all those type of different characters. So a different roster of heroes to a degree, but that's where it's taking place. We're not dealing it with in the current day, which we sort of thought might have been the case based off the Abracadabra tease in season 7. Now, of course, Jay Garrick does say that Barry in 2049 is off-world. Now, does this mean space, or does this just mean the multiverse? Because technically he would be off-world, I guess, because he's not on Earth Prime. Now, Abracadabra originally was from Earth 19, so I don't know what the deal was with him in season 7, because that's post-Crisis, but was he, I guess he still could have been from the multiverse, because we know it still exists, so he could have still been from it. I'm not too sure whether they addressed that he's just from the future, but maybe the multiverse is rediscovered at some point in the future, and that's where Barry is, so he's not in space on, like, I don't know, Mars or some weird planet like that. He's just on Earth, whatever it might be. I was going to say Earth X just to put a random number, but that's actually an Earth. Nazis. So, yeah, he could just be on another random Earth, so he's just elsewhere in the multiverse, and that's what they mean by off-world, or he could be on Jupiter. I have no idea. Now, the Forever War is mentioned. Now, I don't think that's a thing from the comics. It's not what's been taking place right at that moment in 2049. It's happened with Chronarch, and Barry's off-world cleaning up the pieces from it. Now, as I said, I don't think it's a thing from the comics. It might be, but it just isn't ringing any bells for me. But it might just be a reference to something else that Eric Wallace slipped in. Thought, hey, that's just a good thing to mention here, rather than mentioning an actual war or event from the comics, like Blackest Night or something like that. So just being safe, just as a little reference for something in the future. But it might be something from the comics that I'm, mind blanking on. So if it is, feel free to let me know. Now, obviously, people are asking, is this setting up anything? And I think the simple answer to that is, at least in my opinion, well, no. All the stuff that is being referenced is either happening at the time in 2049, where we are in that clip, with Barry being off-world, or it just happened previously with the Forever War. So, sure, the Forever War could have gone on for a certain amount of years, but, the final season of The Flash is going to be over the span of 25 years or something like that, you know what I mean? So, I think it's just a reference they chucked in the episode just to, I guess, build the world of the future a bit more, just because what villains are out there, really, in the future? We're getting a lot of them in the present day, but what's it like in the future with stuff and the events there? And I guess they're trying to say that, hey, it got much bigger and everything like that, and it spanned out more. So I don't think it's setting up anything, except for maybe something right at the end of the season, of the final season, in season 9, where we see an older Barry and it's referenced there again, and we get a follow on. So, but then again, the scene was deleted, so why would you follow on from a deleted scene? That'd be weird, but I don't know. You never know. Maybe they do bring it up again. Now, are there any more deleted scenes? I've seen people asking this after this one was released, and yes, there will be more. They're just not released as of yet, but there are more on the DVD and Blu-ray that comes out in a couple of days. But that doesn't mean you have to buy either the DVD or the Blu-ray to watch them. You can if you want. I mean, they're always good to have. But I'm just sure they'll make their way online over the week or so, roughly, after it comes out. And if there is anything else of interest within those deleted scenes, I might bring it up in a video. Maybe not make a video specifically on it like I am with this one, but I've just mentioned it, while talking about some other stuff. But, 90% of deleted scenes are like what would you call them? Like character moments that just weren't interesting enough to make the cut of an episode, or they are sort of like scenes that end up being redundant because another scene in the episode, or maybe another episode later, does what that scene was written for, but in less time or whatever it might be. So you might write or have a scene that goes for 1.5 minutes, 2 minutes, and it could be Barry talking to Chester or something, and they're explaining how something works. But then there's another scene either earlier or later in the episode that does exactly what that scene was intended to do, but within another scene, and it only takes up 10 seconds of that other scene. So you delete that longer scene, which allows you to do maybe a longer fight scene, or include more of a fight scene, or include more of another scene, or whatever it might be. So that stuff happens all the time. But 90% of those deleted scenes are just not that interesting. But then you get the 10% or 5%, which is this Chronarch one that we've just talked about in this video. But yeah, I'm not expecting anything else of that major interest from this other stuff. But if there is, as I said, I'll talk about it, and that's just wait and find out. But a quick side note is that the other reason that deleting this scene was annoying is because it was another Jay Garrick and Joan Williams scene, and Jay Garrick was hardly in that finale. So I wonder if John Wesley Shipp is a bit annoyed that this scene got deleted, because it's a good scene as well, and it shows their relationship as well. So it's actually a bit annoying when you look back at it, because there wasn't much Jay Garrick in that finale at all. So I wish they'd actually kept this scene for that along with all this like referencing of stuff in the future, which is always cool to hear. But yeah, guys, thanks for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, it'd be awesome if you could drop a like on it to show support. Let me know in the comments section down below your various opinions about this. Would you have preferred they keep this scene in the episode? Do you understand why they deleted it? I can't really understand why they deleted it. Personally, at least, you might have a reason. But yeah, let me know your thoughts on this. Would you like to see some follow-on from this potentially in the final season, even though it's a big stretch that would ever happen? But yeah, let me know all your thoughts down there in the comments. And of course, if you are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe, and I will catch you guys later. Goodbye.